Well, basically, I work with computers, and quite recently, the way we operate, the way we cooperate changed. And I'm here today because I strongly feel that the same change that hit my industry, my computer industry, is going to hit you. So listen very carefully, because actually my story could and probably will happen to you again. The thing is that, as usual, it all starts with a dream. On this picture, you can see a guy, his name is Sandy White, and he is receiving a prize for selling more than 50,000 of his first computer game. And what is so special about this guy is that he made this game himself. He didn't need anybody to help him. He just made this game and sold it. And when I heard about this guy, I was like a teenager, and I thought, he's my inspiration. Yeah? I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be a one-man company dealing with the cutting-edge technology, writing computer games and doing what I like. But the thing is that it not necessarily worked out as I expected. The thing is that when I started to learn computer games, how to write them, how to write music, how to write code, how to create graphics, how to create motion and so on, by the time I was ready, the market developed. Oh, I can see it's not the presentation, but doesn't matter. All right, so basically, it's not like you are able to create a computer game all by yourself. It's more like the market demands so much from you now that being one person, however awesome, is not enough. You might be awesome, but you are not awesome enough. And you might wonder, why does it actually bother you? Yeah, it's my dream not happening. It's my dream busting to dust, but it's not your dream. Let me tell you, there is a chance that it is. But before I will tell you a bit about that, let me talk about my precious wife. And I was quite a lucky guy, I must say. The thing was that when we were dating, the internet was not developed in Poland yet. Nowadays, she's got so many options, meaning she could find somebody on Facebook, she could Google somebody, she could use one of many dating websites. The bottom line is, she could find somebody who looks like me, who behaves like me, but is a bit taller, doesn't tell stupid jokes, and cares really, really deeply about the difference between Degas and Picasso, and I don't. Yeah, so, she could have chosen somebody else. And this is exactly what the change is about. Because we take for granted that, our social life changed so much, meaning we have so many technologies now that allow us to have the relationship with people. Obviously, the relations are different. We have many relations, many more relations. They are shallow, all right, but the bottom line is that the situation is different. And only a few industries yet adopted the same pattern, the same idea in their work life. And this is what the change is about. And it's actually really easy to find out whenever this change will happen to you sooner or later. What I need to do is I need to ask you 4 simple questions, And for each question, should you answer yes, give yourself a point, all right? And then after this round, we will calculate the number of points and see what happens. So the first question is, do you use computer at your work? And I mean physically, do you use computer? You don't need to be an IT guy, you don't need to program, you don't need to create graphics, you don't need to be, motion designer, whatever. Do you physically use computer? If so, give yourself a point. The second question is, are you paid by your results? Meaning, is there any correlation between how much you earn and how many things you do, or how many things you sell, or how efficient you are, or how good you are? If so, give yourself a point. The third question is, do you have many clients? Do you work in one company for the same people all over again, years after years? Or Are you like a doctor or a lawyer where you meet different people every month and you deal with them and you never see them again? If so, give yourself a point. And the last question is, does the internet change your life, your work life? Meaning, you don't need to work through internet. You don't need to use the internet for working. But imagine that there is no internet. Is your job different? Do you have many more clients or less clients? Or they are different? Or you sell more things or less things, or you sell different things? So that's the question. Imagine that there is no internet. Do you feel a change in what you do? If so, give yourself a point. All right, so quite probably you should have something between 0 and 4 points, yeah? If you're good. So people who have 3 and 4 points, please raise your hand. Okay, so I would say majority of this room, which is, well, not unexpected since we are on a TEDx conference. So the message to you guys is the change has probably already started in your area, in your corner, yeah? So don't panic yet. Bear with me and listen carefully. How many people have got like 1 or 2 points? A few, all right? So I've got a message for you. Probably you're still safe, but, you know, have your eyes open. The change could wait just around the corner. Assess your situation from time to time. And do we have anybody who's got 0 points? Oh, it's a shame, actually, because I would like to meet such a person, you know, and congratulate them, because they are quite a lucky guys. But we don't. Okay. What is this change? Right. Oh, yeah. So, basically, if you ask any project manager about any project, they quite probably will tell you that each project consists of 3 main factors, being time, being cost, and being scope. Scope is the thing what the project, the service, the product does. Yeah? So what is the value that it gives to the project, to the user, sorry. And the important thing here is to understand that you are such a triangle as well. So you have your scope, you do something, and you do it, I don't know, better or not really, but this is your scope. You have your time, because it takes you X amount of hours, days, months, whatever. And you've got your cost, because you expect to get paid this way or another. And the change. The change happens when you adopt this way of finding people, like we use Facebook to find new friends, or Google them, or whatever. And when you are not anymore the only triangle in the basket. So imagine what happens if you are like on Facebook, 1 out of millions. That's going to be a bit scary, so bear with me. Because actually, when you are not alone, when there are so many triangles, so many people that you could contact and work with them, suddenly you realize that there's always somebody better, quicker, and faster than you. To a point where you start to think like, isn't that a miracle that my boss still wants to work with me? Isn't that a miracle that my clients still want to buy from me? And you start to panic. Now is the time, all right? But don't worry. There is a solution. But before I will tell you that solution, let me tell you about these 3 corners of this triangle. The first one is about being better. Well, I've got a news for you. And that news is, you are not awesome anymore, okay? You might be awesome in your town. You might be awesome at your work, but there are always people better than you, and they contribute to the market, which makes a situation where you are just not enough. And this is a one-man band, and this is a picture of past. That, like me, I wanted to create computer games all by myself, not an option anymore, at least. And you may think that it's about music, that it's about computer industry, but it's not. It's about so many else, like take doctors, for example. 20 years ago, you could be an average doctor in an average town, and you could be averagely successful. Fair enough. But nowadays, people check on doctors on the internet. They check the opinions about the doctors. And now, either you are the best doctor in town and many people come to you, or you're not successful at all because people care so much about their wealth and health, that they will go only to the best doctor in the town, and sometimes even the best doctor in the country. And the thing is that majority cannot be the best doctor in the country because the best doctor in the country, in the town, is only one. Yeah? And it's easy always to think that I'm going to be the best, but the awful truth is we are not. Plenty of us are average people, and we are not going to be the best. Yes, being the best, not an option anymore. The second corner, it's about time. And I remember my English boss, a very bossy English lady, but a very good boss, said to me once, you've got so many people in your team now, so I expect this project, this project, this project, and this project, and this project to be made by December or something. And I was quite a wise guy, and I said to her, now listen, hold your horses. Just because one woman can deliver a baby in 9 months, it doesn't mean that if you give me 9 women, we can deliver you a baby within 1 month. And I was like, okay, I won. They are not my words, by the way. Yeah, I just copied them. So I felt like I won, but I didn't. The thing is that she's got a point. And the point is that this is exactly what the market demands and expects and will get. Because whatever you do, if you are a project manager, you will end up meeting this market's expectations and having more and more and more and more and more projects. They are going to be shorter projects because we expect everything to be new and we like new things. So you end up juggling projects. So you don't control them too much. You just sort of make sure that they are in the air still and they don't drop. That's your way. That's your new way of dealing with the time. Okay, and the third corner, which is the most sensitive one, especially for the guys in IT. It says, we'll program for food. The thing is, that quite a few of my colleagues were really frustrated by the idea that now so many people from India, from China, from whatever, can do whatever they do, and they expect to be paid by 1/10, like 1/5, for example, for what we used to get. And they were like, that's not fair. Because, we don't have a job now since all the people from these countries take the jobs. But you could see it from this angle, fair enough. But there is another angle, and that I will tell you a story about the USA Catholic Church. Now, what they do now is they outsource masses to India, meaning, let's have an example. A couple has a new child, yeah, and they go to the church and they say, well, this is our new child. We would like to order a mass in intention to this child. We do it in Poland as well. And the priest could say, yeah, all right, we could do it for you. So the couple pay, they go away, and now the priest calls India, and the whole thing happens in India. That's true. So it's hard to say that it's unfair, even if the church does it. Yeah, I guess this is just how it is now. Yeah, you need to deal with the situation. You need to accept that there is a change, and you need to adopt. Okay. Yeah. What are your options? Well, you've got 3 options, all right? But before I will tell you about these 3 options, I want to show you that, actually it's not hopeless yet, having all the triangles and being a triangle. And I would like to ask if anybody in this room knows something about mathematics, graduated mathematics or something. Please raise your hand. Okay. Physics? Okay. Anybody knowing how to make irons? No? Thank you. Making mechanical stuff? Anybody who knows a bit about aerodynamics? Okay. So basically, if we take these 4 triangles and put them together in one room, as it happens now, we could build a plane. All right? Do we have anybody who knows how to drive planes? Okay, so we don't have the triangle in the room now, but it's so easy to find it now. So what I'm trying to say is it's so easy to do awesome things now. You know, we could build a plane and fly it. Okay, your options. Well, you've got 3 options. The first option is more like a homework, not an option. And what I would advise you to do is, when you go home, find your clones. Think about yourself as this triangle. Find other triangles similar to you. You know, people who do what you do. Check what the time is and what the cost is. And when you will be doing this, quite probably 2 things will happen. One, you will realize that if you can find them, your boss can find them. And if you can find them, your clients can find them. And this is exactly the moment that you really panic. But, you know, feel no fear. There is hope. Because there's a second thought. Because if, and it works like that, be focused now. If your boss can find them, other bosses can find them as well. If your clients can find them, other clients that you don't yet have can find them as well. And you suddenly realize that you need to be where they are. You need to be easy to find for your new bosses or your new clients. So the first option is be with your clones. Find them and be with your clones. The second option is, that's the second. The second option is find your niche. And by this I mean, you know, it's a very good situation when you are 1 out of 20. When you are 1 out of 20 people doing whatever you do, because it's a safe situation. When the change hits your industry, you are 1 of 20,000 people, and it's a not good situation at all. So what you do to get back to the situation you just had is to specialize. So if you are a vet, if you are a doctor who deals with animals, be a special vet, you know. Specialize in dog psychiatry or specialize in snake, whatever, yeah? Get back to the situation where you will be just 1 out of 20. And you've got a third option. And the third option is, as I said before, understand that you are not awesome, but you could do awesome things now easily. Because when it's so easy to find these triangles, these bits of your project or whatever you do, and if you coordinate them, if you make an environment where they collaborate, you could do very easily do awesome things. So stop what you do, the actual doing, and start to organize people. And whatever option you choose, be sure of one thing, that the same way now on Facebook you have so many friends and you have so many small talks, chats, you participate in so many discussions. Maybe not on a very deep level, but anyway it happens. The same will happen in your work life, meaning that you will work with many people, many more people, on a very small time basis, on a one-off project. And if you are that niche guy, understand that there will be many, many questions, like the guys in computer industry get. Like, do you want to work with us? Or do you know a guy who knows that bit? Or would you like to do that bit for us and we will pay you that bit? If you are that organizer guy, expect the amount of contacts increase incredibly. So, I had a job where on the daily basis I'm emailed about 300 emails, and I had about, 50 up to 100 phone calls daily. Yeah. And this is your environment now. Okay. That was the easy part of the presentation, because now I need to tell you that your mom lied to you. so bear with me. Oh yeah. So when you are like 4 or 5 or 6 years old, yeah, and you are like, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an actress, I want to be a lawyer, whatever, yeah? Your mom probably said to you something like, honey, sweetie, you know, you could be anybody. If you put your mind and your heart to it, you can achieve anything. And that is not true. And I don't want to tell you that your mom lied to you, but she sort of did. But not because she is a wicked woman, yeah? but because something that was so true 20 years ago, 40 years ago, is not true anymore. And you might wonder what it is. So maybe it's about, you know, mind and heart. And it's not. Meaning success is still about mind, meaning skills, expertise. Success is still about heart, meaning passion. You need to feel passionate. People need to feel passionate if they want really to do something. You may wonder if it's about that anything word, that it's not like anything is still possible. But I do feel that it is, meaning in the future there are so many things waiting to be discovered or made that anything is still possible. What I have a problem with is these two words, because to my understanding, it's not your heart and your mind that is enough to be successful now. Because you need to create an environment where you use different people's skills, expertise, and you borrow their awesomeness and you put it into the project. And you need to motivate them so they feel passionate about whatever you do, because that's the way now. So the main message for this speech is find the right people and build planes. Thank you.